Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, students, we are going to have the introduction of the syllabus today in this lesson, and I'm going to explain you that what are different topics that we are going to do, and I would like to start the initial topics as well, inshallah, in today's discussion. So this is the file I would like to give you people in your Google Classroom. Uh, Basically, the syllabus is about the programming language C++ and some theoretical concepts about the operating system. If you see over here, chapter 1 is there for operating system, where there are some fundamental concepts that we are going to study. Then there is chapter 2 about the program development life cycle, that what is the procedure to make a software. And then programming sections are there: introduction with the object-oriented programming, C++, then control structures are there, arrays and strings, functions. These all are basically the programming components, and pointers are there, and objects and classes are there, and file handling. Up to file handling, all these contents are there that we need to cover. Okay, I hope that this is clear, that this is the entire concept that we are going to do. Means operating system, fundamental concepts of the operating system will be there. Okay. Similarly, the object-oriented programming would be there, that we are going to discuss in this syllabus. Students, this point is clear. I hope that this point is clear. Will you please give me feedback about it? Keep yourself unmuted, and I will be able to listen that you are getting something and you are paying some attention. Okay. So the very first thing over here is about the operating system. We will start from the operating system. Uh, I would also like to discuss about the paper pattern over here before going towards the syllabus, because all the students must have the idea about the theoretical paper. You know that you are going to have a 75 marks paper. Over there you will be having 15 marks for the MCQs. MCQs will be asked randomly from all the chapters. You are getting this point? MCQs will be from all the chapters. 15 marks are there for the MCQs. Subjective paper will be there, in which you will be having 60 marks. 60 marks will be there for the subjective paper. And over there we have got sections. You know, section B is there, section C is there, section D is there. These are the section. If you talk about section B, it is for the short questions. You can see over here that there are 7 questions. Each question is having 3 marks, and you have to solve 7 questions, and 7 threes are 21 marks are there for section B. Are you getting this point? There are 21 marks for section B. And if you see over here, you will be able to see this thing as well, that some specific chapters have been taken, where you are going to have operating system, chapter number 1. Chapter number 2 is system development life cycle. 10% is there from chapter number 1, which is operating system. 10% is there from the system development life cycle. Object oriented programming is there, which is containing 10%, and control structures are there. Control structures, what are control structures? Definitely that you will be able to learn when we will be doing all these things. And pointers are there from which they are going to ask 5% question. So they give you 10 questions, out of which you have to select 7 questions, making 7 threes are 21. So 21 marks will be allocated for section B in short question. In short questions, you know very well that the answer will be very to the point in 3 to 4 to 5 lines, not more than that. Iman, you are getting all these points or not?
Yes, sir, I'm getting.
Keep giving me feedback. I will be happy to know that you are getting something. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next thing over here, the next section is section C. Section C is about arrays and string, 15%, classes and objects, 10%, functions, 15%, and file handling, 10%. So now these are the last chapters, and these are comparatively, you know, difficult chapters, from which you are going to have again 7 questions in short. Means you will be assessed regarding all the topics, all the chapters of the book, you know, whatever is given to you. So there would be 7 questions that you need to do out of 10 questions. Then come towards the long answer section. This is basically your section D. There isn't any discrimination of the chapter. Question can come anywhere from the syllabus. No discrimination is there. Question can come from chapter number 1 to chapter number last, which is basically your chapter. You know that this is basically your chapter where you are going to have your last chapter. This is last chapter up to the last chapter. Chapter last is basically over here file handling. The last chapter. Chapter 1 is operating system. So the question can be asked anywhere, from anywhere. But over here, there may be some parts of the question, A and B parts. Maybe there is no part, there is only one part, but maybe possible that there are 2 or 3 parts even. Sometimes 2 or 3 parts are there. So you have to do 3 questions out of given 4 questions over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 questions are there, out of which you have to do 3 questions, and each question is of 6 marks. So 6 3s are 18 marks will be there that you have to do over there in this section. And you are supposed to write detailed question. There may be some program to write according to the given output. There may be some theoretical question that you have to explain, and you are not supposed to write the answer in 3 to 4 lines in short manner, but you can include the detail about that answer. This thing is clear, Iman, or not? This thing is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, should we move towards the syllabus? Because if even a single student will be there, I will be progressing my syllabus. I will not wait for any student, because in this way, we are going to, will you please keep yourself muted when you're talking, then you can unmute yourself. So we will start it from the operating system. What is your concept about operating system? Yes, Iman, will you say something about it? What is your idea about operating system? What comes in your mind when we say operating system? This is our chapter number 1 in second year. Yes, will you please say something about it?
Yes, sir. Operating system is a software
Operating system.
which is important in the computer.
Sorry?
Operating system is the software that runs on a computer, and it is also important.
You know that basically it is a software. In software, we have got system softwares and we have got application software. We have got system softwares and we have got applications.
Applications are
You would have studied this thing in your earlier grades. If you talk about the system software, we have got some categories over there as well. In system software, there are some categories just like device drivers, utility programs, language translators. But the most important and the major one is called operating system. What is meant by operating system? Operating system is basically a master control program. What is the master control program? Why we are calling it the master control program? Which manages all the operations of the computer system. It is a master control program which manages all the operations of
all the
computer system.
com-
Can we work without the operating system on our computer system? Without operating system, can we work on computer system? If you don't have
no,
Windows installed, will you be able to work on computer system?
no, sir.
No, not at all. Because you know very well that machine language is something else. Computer's own language is something else, which is basically binary in nature. 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. This is the language. And human language is something else. You know very well that the human language will be a English language or any other human language. So human language, when you talk in human language to the machine will not be able to understand and there will be a deadlock. You will have to install operating system over there. Are you getting this point or not? You will have to
Yes, sir.
install operating system over there. An operating system will be behaving as an interpreter. What is meant by interpreter? What is meant by interpreter? Interpreter means translator. When you are giving instructions in English, it will translate it and will pass to the machine. And when the machine is giving you some alert or some message in binary language, it is going to pass you in human language. So whenever any alert comes, you become able to understand. Why? Because any message, any alert, any type of comment which is coming from inside, it is being communicated to you in your language that you understand. That is English language. Are you getting this point or not?
Yes, sir.
Getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let me open the book. And the chapter number 1. This is basically chapter number 1, where we are going to study some different aspects of operating system. So operating system is most important software that runs the computer system, without which you are unable to run computer system. You cannot run computer system without this operating system, which runs computer system. It manages computer's memory, process, it manages all the hardware and software, all the operations. It allows users to communicate with computer system. Without any operating system, you cannot run the computer system. It automatically loads into the memory in the RAM, and then your computer system is switched on, and operating system is going to fill the gap of this translation between the user and the machine. This is basically the bridge between the user and the machine. This point is clear. This point is clear, Iman.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now we have got some, different functions of operating system. There are, some functions are there for any of the operating system that we are using. I would like to share with you some functions, most important functions of the operating system. What are those functions? See over here. First of all, you must know what is the example of operating system. Can you give any examples of operating system?
Yes, sir.
Windows is the
Like,
operating system or not?
yes,
Microsoft
sir.
Windows, Apple operating system, Google Android operating system, Apple Android operating system. Okay, Linux operating system, DOS is there, Windows is there. These are the examples of the operating system. What are the different functions of operating system? What does the operating system do? What does the operating system do? What it is going to do? Number one, the major one is basically the operating system will be booted. What is meant by booting? Where is the operating system? Operating system is there in your hard disk. It is installed in your hard disk. Windows is there in your hard disk. When you boot, when you switch on your computer system, it is going to be loaded. It is going to be loaded in your memory. In your memory means I'm talking about in your computer's memory. In the RAM, the operating system will be loaded from the hard storage. This process is called booting. You know that when you switch on computer system, it is not going to be switched on like television. Is it so? It takes few
Yes,
seconds.
sir.
Does it take few seconds or not to be switched on?
Yes, sir. It
Some
is.
instructions are there in the beginning, then you see some message that your system is going to be started, then you become able to log in. Is it the case or not?
Yes, sir.
So what is going on at that
Yes,
time? What is going on at that time?
booting.
Yes, booting is the process, means loading of operating system from the secondary storage into the main memory. This is called booting. Then the most important function over here is basically the process management. All the processes are managed by operating system. All the processes, whatever you are doing, if I'm clicking by mouse, I'm giving an instruction. Okay, so that process will be managed by operating system. Process management means that operating system is going to manage all the processes and the states that the process is done or not, keeps tracks of process and the status of the process. The program responsible for this task is basically the traffic controller that allocates the processor to the CPU, because there is one device, one chip is there which is going to do the process. So operating system is going to allocate that process to the CPU, that this is the process and do it. And operating system knows about it, that this process is done or not. and accordingly it is going to deal with the process. If the process is done, it is going to terminate it. If the process is not done, it is going to give the instruction to the CPU that it needs to be processed. And afterwards, when the process is done, it is going to deallocate that resource, means that CPU which has been allocated to that process, because that process has been completed. What is that process that I'm talking about? Any job, any work which is assigned to the CPU is basically is a process. For example, if I say that switch to the red color, so I have done one process over here, that I have changed my color pen from black to red. Even in a single task, there is some process which is going to be done by the CPU. Now come towards the next one, which is called memory management. What does it mean? What is meant by memory management? Memory management means the RAM, the primary memory, will be managed by the operating system. Operating system is going to manage the memory. Whenever you are doing any program, using any program, it is loaded into the memory. You cannot run any program without loading in memory. Just like we have said that operating system will be loaded inside the memory. In the same manner, you know that all the applications that you are running, these will also be loaded into the memory, and then you will be able to use that program. Okay, so the main memory we are referring over here, the primary memory, is RAM, which will be managed. Memory addressing will be done by the operating system. Okay, main memory is a large array of words or bytes where each word or byte has its own address. This address management is basically done by the operating system. Okay, so memory allocation, memory deallocation, all these things, and the keeping track of the memory management is done by the operating system. All the input and output devices, whether this is a keyboard, whether this is a mouse, okay, whether it is basically a joystick, these are the examples of the input devices. It may be a printer output device, it may be a monitor output device, it may be a speaker. All these input output devices are managed by operating system. When you are giving instruction by some kind of input device, it is managed by operating system. Sometimes you know that you are giving a so number of instruction, your system is going to be hang and you are clicking and it is not accepting any more input. It
Yes.
happens sometime. So what is the reason behind it?
Yes.
The reason behind it is basically that it is not accepting any more interrupt. So input output is managed by operating system. File management, the complete file management, files, creating new file. You create files or not? You create file, you delete file, you rename file. You do all these things with the files or not? Every file has
Yes.
got one extension which defines that what type of file it is. Extension is there. All these things are managed by the operating system. Creation, deletion, updation of files, alteration in the files, renaming of files, copying one file and pasting it at some other location, cutting one file and pasting at some other location. All these operations are done by operating system. All the resources means all the CPU resources, memory resources, CPU, memory, all these things, storage devices, all these things are managed by operating system. Okay, all resources are managed by operating system. You know very well that you can create users. If you have got one PC at home, one desktop computer, you know very well that we can create multiple users on it, and they will have some different types of rights with them. Okay, so we create users in Windows. Even you will be able to see that we have got this option. If you go to your control panel, you will be able to see that you are able to create users. User account management, this is the option using which you can create further users over here, multiple users. And if you want that some users should be able to use this program and some users should not be able to use this program or that program, you can manage all these things because the operating system is going to provide you this facility. This point is clear. User account management, all, you can make multiple users with different rights. If you are giving them admin users, so the user will be able to do all the jobs. If you are giving them rights to use particular programs, they will be able to use those programs. Okay, So you can create multiple users on your computer system with allocation of different rights. And if you want to take back those rights, this is called revoking. Revoking means you want to cancel some rights. So you can do anytime that thing as well. Just like in your computer lab, students are unable to install the new software. Why? Because we have not given this permission to the students. So user rights allocation is also possible by the operating system. I hope that these all operations are clear over here. I have explained you all these things in much more detail. Yes, students, this point is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me about it that this point is clear.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What are the commonly used operating system? Commonly used operating system, have you got some idea? Which one is the most commonly used operating system?
Windows.
Windows, of course. Of course, this is Windows. Windows is the most commonly used operating system. Okay. So 98% of the world is using Windows. If you go and if you check that percentages of the uses of the operating system, you will be able to find it out over the internet. But DOS is also used. Apple computers are there which are using Mac operating system. This is also there. Linux, Unix operating systems are also there. So other operating systems are also there which are used by different users. What do you know about disk operating system? Have you got some idea about disk operating system? DOS,
Mm.
disk operating system.
Yes, sir.
When we were in schooling, so disk operating systems basically used to come, in the floppy drive. Have you seen the floppy drive, floppy diskette? It was
Yes, sir.
of 1.44 MB or 2.88 MB. This was the less space. There was very less space, and we used to keep DOS operating system in it. Okay, DOS operating system. I'm not talking about hundreds of years ago. I'm talking about 10 or 15 years back when I was in school. So we used to have this kind of floppy diskette. Okay, DOS operating system was there. That's why its name is disk operating system, because it used to come in the disk. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
And there was a command prompt given to us in which we used to type the command, for example, dir, and see the output, press enter. Okay, whatever you want to do. If you want to change the directory, we used to write over there cd change directory. Okay, in this way. Let me show you over here in the Windows as well. We have got the virtual DOS machine. It is, if you will click on your start menu, if you will go to the CMD option, you will be able to see that this is basically the virtual DOS machine. Can you see this? I am right now in C drive. If I write over here D colon, I will go to D drive. If I write over here E drive, I will go to E drive. F drive, I will go to F drive. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you want to see what are the contents in the F drive, you will type dir, and it is going to show us that these are the basically the directories and the folders available. Can you see on the screen? This is the
Yes, sir. I
environment
can.
of DOS. This was basically the environment of DOS when the users were not having the option of Windows. Okay, but still the network management and a lot of things are there which are still done by disk operating system, which are still done by DOS commands. Means it is not still obsolete. It is used. Okay, now come towards the next point. Some commands are given over here. Rename is used to rename the file. Okay, cd is used to change the directory. Dir, I have explained you dir. Dir means it is going to show me how many folders are there. What are the folders? Dir. If I type dir, it is going to show me that these are the directories. These are the directories over here available. You know, if you want to go to any of the
Yes, sir.
directory, you can go. Okay, let's suppose if I make in my F drive, if I make one folder over here with the name of temp, so you will be able to see that over there temp folder will be shown. If I make one file over here, notepad file, okay, and I give it the name second year, and I type some text over here, computer science, and I save this file. Okay, now if you see over here, if I type dir, you will be able to see that temp is also there. Temp folder is there or not? that I have created right now. Yes, here it is temp. If I go to temp folder, cd change directory, go into the temp folder. In Windows, we double click on it and we move inside. But over here, I will have to write cd, and now I am inside temp folder. If I write over here dir, so you will be able to see that there is only one file with the name of secondyear.txt. Are you getting this thing? Secondyear.txt is
Yes,
the
sir.
file which has been created over here. Okay, so this point is clear, that how to change the directory. This point is clear. How to see the content of the folder. This point is clear. Delete one or more files. We can delete the file. We can copy the file. For example, if I want to copy the file, let me go over there. I want to copy this file. Which file? Copy which file? Secondyear. Secondyear.txt. Where I want to copy? I want to copy it in my C drive. Okay, and I press enter. One file copied. What is written over here? One file is copied. How I will be able to see this? Go to C drive. Go to C drive. Now C drive is there. No, I cannot go on the root drive right now. cd dot dot cd dot dot cd dot dot is going back one step. Cd dot dot is going back one step folder. If I see over here dir, am I able to see the file that I have copied over here? Let me find out. The file name was secondyear, but still the file is not there. The file, I think, has been copied in that folder, which is basically the user folder. If we will go to Windows, we will be able to see users. Here is the file. See over there. Here is the file. File has been copied in C drive, but in the user folder, because I'm not authorized to copy the data in C drive. That's why it copied the file in the C drive. You can see over here, Iman, or not. The file has been copied.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I
Yes, sir,
go
I can see.
to this folder, dir, what are the directories? If I go to that folder, which was the user folder, users, then I see over here what are the different. Over here, I need to go cd hp. HP is the name of the, you know, hp-pc. Over here, you will see that this file is available secondyear. If you need to delete this file, you will write del secondyear.txt. Now, if I write over here dir, so now you will be able to see that that secondyear file is not available now. It was available over here. You can see over here, but now after deleting this file is no more available over here. This point is clear, Iman, or not?
Yes, sir.
Delete file name dot extension, you have to write the complete. So these all points are clear. Format is the command. I cannot run the format command right now because it is going to remove all the data from that drive that we are going to format. How do we write? We write in this way: format D, format E, whatever the drive is there that you want to format, it will be formatted. Rename, how the rename is going to
Yes,
work,
sir.
I can show you this example. For example, if I go to my F drive, over here this folder temp is there. Temp, in this folder secondyear.txt is there. So I can rename secondyear.txt as secondyear a.txt. So the file will be renamed. Now you will be able to see what is the name of the file now, secondyear a.txt. File has been renamed or not? Iman, will you tell me please about it?
Yes, sir. It is.
Has been renamed or not?
Yes, sir. It is renamed.
Has been renamed. So all
Yes, sir.
these
It is
commands I have
renamed.
given you the demo as well. Okay. This recording will also be given to you, but you should note down that how we have applied these all commands. These are the basic DOS commands that the user should know. Even if you are a Windows user, you must know these basic commands. Okay, user had to learn. What are the difficulties over here? The user has to learn the basic commands. He needs to remember the spellings. He needs to type the correct spelling. Okay, all these things are there. And one command will be executed. Then afterwards, you will be able to run the second command. Otherwise, you will not be able to run the second command until and unless the first command is done. DOS commands were difficult to learn and memorize and use Okay, all these are basically the limitations, and it was the famous operating system in 80s and early 90s. Afterwards, the Windows was introduced. This point is clear, Iman.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Got any question? Please tell me. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, what do you know about Windows operating system? Can you say something about Windows? Yes, please.
Sir, Windows are used in the computer and
Yes. What do you know about Windows operating system? What is the advantage? Windows is better or DOS is better? Which one is better?
maybe Windows.
Definitely Windows is better. Okay. So Windows is basically the operating system which gives you graphical structure. It is user friendly. It is user friendly. Windows was developed by Microsoft organization. There were, DOS versions earlier. Microsoft introduced Windows 3.x, 3.x means 3.1, 2, 3. Then Windows 98 came, then Windows 90, 95, then 97, 98, Windows 2000. Then there was Windows XP, okay. And then afterwards, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. There are a number of Windows with better options available today. Windows have got the mouse icon available. This mouse pointer, it was not available in DOS. Multiple programs can run at a time, just like you can see on my screen on taskbar. Microsoft Edge is open, Google Chrome is open, PDF Reader is open, okay, PDF Editor is open, Control Panel is open, the virtual DOS machine is already open. Okay, all these are open at the same time, and I can work on any one of them. This thing was not available. Multitasking was not available in DOS. Was this available? I have already
No,
shown
sir.
you that if we complete one command, then we can execute next command. So at one time, you can run just one single task at a time. You can run only one task at a time. Getting this point?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So these all are very important things. And graphical icons are there. Windows are there. Graphical icons are there. Window-like structure is there, in which you can open different softwares in window-like environment. Are you getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these all are the characteristics of Windows. We have discussed about the DOS as well. We have discussed about the Windows as well in today's lesson. These all topics are covered in today's lesson. I would like to make one Google Classroom for you for the second year. This is for section A and B. Subject is computer science. This is the class that I have created for you, and I would like to give you the lessons over here, day by day lesson, whatever we will study, I'm going to share over here. So what we have covered today, we are going to do chapter number 1, which is basically about the operating system. What we have covered in this chapter, what are the different topics that we have covered in this chapter? Introduction,
Okay.
syllabus,
DOS,
syllabus we have
Windows.
covered, paper pattern we have discussed about. Okay, And if
Oh,
you go to the chapter,
yes, sir.
go to chapter. Our class time is over. I think it is going to be over. But let me show you that what we have covered. I am going to write over here operating system and commonly used operating system. These are the 2 points that we have already covered: operating system, their functions, and commonly used operating system.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you should note down the Google class code. I'm going to post it over here. Note down this Google class code using which you will be able to join this classroom. Iman, I hope
Yes, sir.
that you will be available from next time. Who are the rest of the girls in this class in computer science? Can you tell me about them?
No, sir, I am only
Okay,
this one girl.
fine, no issue. So we will be covering our syllabus, inshallah, and I hope that inshallah we will be going with some better speed because we have to cover a number of things. Okay, these all are theoretical topics
Yes,
that
sir.
we are doing in chapter number 1. Thank you so much.